ever imagine where rhythm came from? Is it from the sound of rain? The elephants trumpeting? The thunder? Or the different beautiful sounds of nature? Well, don't you think that's where rhythm was brewed?
Long ago in the time of dreams, when the world was being born, there lived a rough, tough crocodile man. He was huge and mean and scary, and he had one thing that nobody else had. Fire. Fire was his alone. Sometimes he held it with his foot, sometimes he breathed it with his throat, and sometimes he balanced it on his head. He liked to play with fire because fire was his and his alone. When other animals begged for fire, Crocodile Man just laughed. If they came too close, he frightened them away, snarling and snapping his jaws. I am boss of the fire, he growled through his teeth. I am boss of the fire. In a nearby tree lived Bird Woman. She could never come close to fire, so she had no light in the dark. She was cold at night, and she ate her fish and lizards raw. Often she pleaded with Crocodile Man for fire, but every time he snapped back, "Excuse me, eat your food raw." But what about people? Bird Woman asked loudly and sadly. How are they to cook their food? They must eat it raw too, croaked the cross crocodile, knocking her away with his tail. You will not have any fire sticks. You are so mean, sighed Bird Woman. If I had fire, I'd give it to you. And she flew back into her tree. time did pass. From her tree, Bird Woman watched Crocodile Man, and she flew about catching her food, eating it raw, shivering with cold at night, but always watching and watching and waiting and watching. Then, one afternoon, Crocodile Man opened his jaws and gave the widest, longest, sleepiest, biggest yawn anybody had ever seen. Now's my chance, thought Bird Woman. She flashed down the tree, snatched up the fire sticks, and flew back into the air, and there was nothing Crocodile Man could do. Now, I shall give fire to the people, said Bird Woman, feeling proud, and she flew around the country, putting fire into the heart of every tree. From that day on, people could make fire using dry sticks and logs from a tree, and they could cook their food, keep warm at night, and light their way in the dark. Then, Bird Woman did a little dance and put the fire sticks into her tail. She became the beautiful rainbow bird. What about Crocodile Man? Well, now Rainbow Bird flew back to Crocodile Man. You must stay down there in the wet, she said. I'll fly high in the dry. I'll be a bird. I'll stay on top. I'll live in the air. And if you ever come up here, you might just die. And to this day, Crocodile lives down in the swamp. His fire has gone now, but when he growls and opens his mouth, he seems to say, I am boss. I am still the boss. And Rainbow Bird, she lives in the sky, and sometimes, if you are lucky, you can see her still taking fire to the trees in a blaze of feathers, rainbow bright. Naomba unipe pumzi, nitarajie kupaa kama ndege hewani.
Ngai mwega we mũtangĩri wa ita, mwamũkĩri magongo na mathũiro, Ngai ũrĩ mbere tũtingĩhotwo nĩ thũ, mwene nyaga twakũhoya. Tũhoyaga wendani na gĩtĩo, na tha nyingĩ cia wendo wa rũrĩrĩ, ũiguano wa Gĩkũyũ na Mũmbi, mwene nyaga twakũhoya. Hau tene mbere ya ũmbi, hau tene thutha wa ũmbi, o rĩrĩa nyene arĩkirie kũmba thĩ, hinya ũrĩa watũmĩkire kũmba thĩ ndwathire, no nĩ watigirwo gũkũ, o gũkũ tũikaraga, ũrũraga na andũ, ũceragĩra andũ na ũmahehagĩrĩra rũhuho-inĩ. No tondũ mũndũ nĩ wa mwĩyendo na andũ nĩ akwĩgwatĩra, nĩ gwakinyire ihinda hinya ũcio ũkĩhitha, na gĩtũmi kĩa kwĩhitha nĩ gũkorwo ũkoroku wa mũndũ ũrĩa ũkoragwo thĩinĩ wake nĩ wakinyĩte gũkũra, na atĩ akerirĩria kwĩnyitĩra hinya wa ũmbi ũtuĩke wake, aũramate na atuĩke wa kũũtũmĩra ũrĩa ũrenda. No tondũ nĩ mũkĩũĩ hinya ti wa gũthakwo naguo kana wa kwĩgwatĩrwo, nĩ waituĩkire atĩ nyene nĩ akũhitha hinya ũcio, nake wambararie irĩma-inĩ na akĩũhitha, na hau nĩho aruti magongona na atongoria a rũrĩrĩ maciarirwo. Ũmũthĩ nĩ ngũmũhe rũgano rwa Kĩenyũ. Kĩenyũ arĩ mwanake waciarĩtwo nĩ aciari ake wega, akĩrerwo wega, agĩkũngũĩrwo na agĩkenererwo. No Kĩenyũ arĩ na wonje wĩtagwo kwĩrirĩria, no ũngĩ wĩtagwo ũthayo. Ũgũta warĩ mũkĩru. Nĩ gwakinyire ihinda Kĩenyũ akĩgimara, na gũgĩtuĩka rĩu nĩ atuĩka njui hũre. Nĩ kuuga atĩ ndarĩroraga aciari ake igũrũ, no ĩndĩ nĩwe ũkumagara akemathĩre na akeyethere. Na nĩ ũndũ wa ũthayo wake nĩ gwatuĩkire atĩ Kĩenyũ no nginya angĩarutire wĩra, na hau nĩho thĩna wa Kĩenyũ warĩ, nĩ gũkorwo ũthayo wake ndũngĩamwĩtĩkĩririe kũruta wĩra. No Kĩenyũ ona arĩ mũthayo ũguo arĩ na wendi ũmwe ngoro-inĩ yake, wendi wa gũikara na gũtũũra maica mega mathaka ma gũkenerera, no harĩ na nditi. Itũũra-inĩ nĩ kwarĩ na mũhuhu, atĩ kũrĩa irĩma-inĩ ũngĩambatire kuo na ũrute igongona, ihoya rĩaku kana rĩrirĩria rĩaku rĩrĩa inene mũno nĩ rĩatuĩkaga rĩa kũhinga. Na koguo Kĩenyũ nĩ ekire ũthuthuria wa kũigana na akĩmenya atĩ mũhuhu ũcio nĩ ndeto cia ma, na koguo no nginya angĩabangire thabarĩ ambate nginya irĩma-inĩ ahoe ihoya rĩake kana arute igongona na ihoya rĩake rĩa gũikara wega rĩtuĩke rĩa kũhinga. Na rĩu ihinda nĩ rĩagĩkinyire, after gwĩka ũthuthuria wake na ũkĩhinga, nĩ acokanĩrĩirie indo ciake cia igongona na akĩanjia thabarĩ ya kĩrĩma-inĩ. Nĩ atuĩkanirie njũĩ, agĩkĩra mĩtitũ, akĩambata, agĩikũrũka mĩikũrũko na akĩambata. Rĩa mũico marigĩrĩrio, agĩkora kĩrĩma-inĩ. Na hau nĩho amenyire, ũmũthĩ kana ndirĩhũndũka, ihoya rĩakwa rĩtahingĩte. Kĩenyũ nĩ ahingũrire ngurunga na akĩingĩra ĩmwe yarĩ thaka, yarĩ ng'emu na yarĩ na ũkaru mũnene. Na hau thamiri yake ĩkĩmwĩra, haha ndũgamĩte hinya-inĩ ũrĩa wa ndũire, o ũrĩa ũmwe njiguaga wombire bũrũri ũyũ witũ. Na koguo Kĩenyũ akĩara kĩgongona gĩake, agĩakia mwaki, akĩigĩrĩra gĩtome kĩa iria, matunda mĩthemba mĩthemba na akĩrigia na rũhĩa rwa njohi. Kĩenyũ nĩ ambararirie moko make na igũrũ na akiuga, we wombire gũkũ, nĩ ndoka, njĩtagwo Kĩenyũ na ndĩna ihoya rĩmwe. Ndahoya nĩ gũkorwo ndĩrenda gũikara wega, ũrĩhingĩrie. Narĩo nĩ gũtũũra maica mega, itekaga ũndũ ũrĩkũ kana ũrĩkũ, no ndĩkenagĩra. Koguo Kĩenyũ akĩhorera thutha wa gũikia ihoya rĩake na akĩigua mũrurumo wa mũgambo wauma ngurunga-inĩ ũkĩmwĩra, mwana, gĩkĩ wahoya nĩ gĩgũkũritũhĩra. No Kĩenyũ nĩ atumumĩtio nĩ ũthayo wake na akiuga, rĩu norĩo ihoya rĩrĩa ndĩnarĩo, wahingĩria rĩu nĩ ngũkena. Kĩenyũ nake ona arĩ na ũthayo ũcio wake mũingĩ ũguo, arĩ mwanake wĩ ngoro theru, na koguo wĩna ngoro theru kĩgongona gĩaku no nginya kĩngĩetĩkĩrĩkire, na gĩa Kĩenyũ gĩgĩtĩkĩrĩka. Koguo akĩrutĩrwo na mũgambo akĩrwo, ũkũhũndũka ũcoke nginya o itũũra-inĩ harĩa hagũgũkenia, harĩa hagwaka ngoro yaku, na hau noho ndĩkũrathimĩra. Koguo Kĩenyũ akĩhũndũka ena gĩkeno kĩingĩ mũno, akĩmenyaga atĩ kuma mũthenya ũcio ihoya rĩake rĩa gũikara wega, we atareka ũndũ ũrĩkũ kana ũrĩkũ, nĩ rĩkũhinga. Koguo agĩkinya itũũra-inĩ, na akinya itũũra-inĩ agĩcagũrĩra o harĩa hamũkenirie, naho nĩ harĩa honagwo nĩ andũ othe. Kĩenyũ akĩrũgama na akĩrora kĩrĩma-inĩ akiuga, haha nĩho hangenia, haha nĩho ngwamũkĩrĩra kĩrathimo gĩakwa. Koguo Kĩenyũ akĩambarario gatũbũrũrũ igũrũ, na ũndũ ũrĩa wa kũmũmakia nĩ atĩ etereire kĩrathimo kĩa aruti a wĩra a kũmũtungata kana kĩrathimo kĩa ndungata, tikĩo gĩokire, no ĩndĩ omagaririo na agĩtuo ihiga rĩarĩ inene mũno. Ũndũ ũcio nĩ wamũturire mũno na ndangĩacenjirie. Koguo arĩ o ihiga-inĩ rĩu nĩ arĩ na kĩeha na kĩmako kĩarĩ kĩingĩ mũno. Nĩ aturirwo na kĩeha gĩake gĩkĩmũkĩra, na koguo agĩcoka o mahoya-inĩ, na nĩ ahoyaga, we wanduire ihiga rĩrĩ, njokia tu o ũrĩa ndarĩ, na nĩ ngwĩrutĩra gũtungata. Thutha wa ihinda rĩarĩ rĩa ihera inene mũno, ihoya rĩa kerĩ rĩa Kĩenyũ nĩ rĩacokirio, na akĩgarũrwo agĩtuĩka mũndũ. Na hau nĩho athire itũũra-inĩ, akĩmahunjagĩria akĩmeraga, ngũmwĩra ũũ nama nama, gũtungata gwĩ gĩkeno gũkĩra gũtungatwo.
Tricky Mr. Rabbit. Once, long ago, there was a cunning rabbit who enjoyed playing tricks on the other animals. The bigger the animals were, the more Mr. Rabbit enjoyed the joke. One day, Mr. Rabbit was walking near the sea when he saw Mr. Elephant. "How big are you, Mr. Elephant?" said Mr. Rabbit. "How big your feet are? Why, I declare I have never seen such big feet on any other creature." The rabbit trotted around the feet of the elephant, pushing and prodding at them. "Clumsy feet, some people will call them," laughed Mr. Rabbit. "How do you avoid tripping over with huge feet like that at the end of your legs? I feel sorry for you, Mr. Elephant, having big, clumsy, awkward feet like that." Mr. Elephant did not care to hear such talk. "You are an impudent creature, Mr. Rabbit," he said. "I feel like giving you a good spanking." The rabbit laughed and ran in circles round the elephant. This talk from a small rabbit made the elephant really angry. "I feel like tying a rope round your middle and dragging you into the sea. That's what I feel like doing," jeered the rabbit. This talk from a small rabbit made the elephant really angry. "What? You? Tie a rope around a big fellow like me and drag me into the sea?" he trumpeted. "You could possibly not do that. What nonsense. The rabbit took a coil of rope from his back. "Let me tie this rope round you," he said, "and if I cannot drag you into the sea, then you have my permission to give me a good beating. I will stand while you do it." "Agreed," laughed the elephant, allowing the rabbit to tie the rope round his waist. "Mrs. Whale," he said, "you're big and I am little, but I bet that I can tie this rope round your middle and drag you up on the land." The whale roared with laughter. "Indeed, you cannot," she said. "Why, what a big opinion you have of yourself, you little bundle of fur. But you can try if you wish. I have nothing else to do this fine afternoon." The whale kept still as the rabbit tied the rope round her middle. "Now," smiled the rabbit, "you pull hard on this end of the rope and I will go and pull on the other end of the rope." The whale started to swim out to the sea as the rabbit hurried back to the elephant. "Mr. Elephant," called the rabbit, "I am starting to pull you into the sea. Stop me if you can." The elephant felt the strong tug on the rope as the huge whale swam out to the sea. He was amazed at the strength of the rabbit, as he thought, and pulled with all his might to stay in the same place. Meanwhile, in the sea, the whale was astonished to find herself being held back. "How can that tiny rabbit stop a mighty whale like me from swimming forward?" she gasped. "What shame to be outpulled by a rabbit." Mrs. Whale flapped her huge tail from side to side and heaved forward in the water. The elephant felt himself being dragged towards the beach. Step by step, he was pulled to the very edge of the water, and all the while the rabbit was hiding behind a bush and laughing fit to split his sides. When his feet were splashing in the sea, the elephant saw the other end of the rope and tied round a mighty whale. "Mrs. Whale," he called, "have you been speaking to a rabbit?" Mrs. Whale looked around and was amazed to see an elephant pulling at the other end of the rope. "Indeed I have," she replied. "Tell me, what are you pulling at the rope?" "The rabbit should be pulling." "We have both been tricked," shouted Mr. Elephant. "Come near to the shore and let me untie this rope." While Mr. Rabbit was having a great laugh, the elephant used his trunk to untie the rope from himself and Mrs. Whale. Mr. Rabbit, being no fool, ran away before the rope was completely undone. At last, Mr. Elephant threw off the rope and looked round. "I will catch that rabbit and give him a beating no matter how far ahead of me he is," vowed the elephant. He set off after the rabbit and soon he was gaining on him. The elephant was very cross as he ran with long strides of his big feet following the rabbit. Realizing that soon he will be overtaken, the rabbit hid in the skull of a horse. The elephant came panting along and said, "Mr. Skull, have you seen a rabbit running this way?" "Indeed, I have," the skull seemed to reply, but of course, it was really the rabbit calling from within the skull. "Indeed, I have," went on the skull. "Only then I was a horse. The rabbit spoke to me cheekily, and I was about to give him a kick, when he stared at me with burning eyes and pointed a finger at me, and in a second turned me into what you see before you." The elephant stopped and stared at the skull. He gulped and turned for home. "Well," he said, "if the rabbit ever comes this way again, Do not tell him that I was chasing him. Do not even tell him that you saw me. I have decided. I do not want to catch him after all. As soon as the elephant was out of sight, the rabbit crawled out of the skull and ran towards his own home, laughing all the way.
So again, for those who do not know my name is Emily. I want to go with the hashtag, the librarian or the storyteller. So this evening, I'm going to tell you another story. It's called Zomo. In Africa, we have our own cunning animal. Sometimes it's a spider, sometimes it's a fox, but sometimes it's the littlest animal that you've ever met. And his name today will be Zomo. So Zomo was not big, Zomo was not strong, and Zomo was kinda cunning, because we are talking about cunning animals. Now Zomo decided that he would go to the sky god to get himself a bit of wisdom. As we all do sometimes, we are on our knees, Mungu nisaidie, please niaravuke. So this time he went to sky god and demanded, sky god, please, mimi nataka tu unipe wisdom kidogo tu, kidogo sio mingi. Sky god was like, sawa, si hiyo ni poa, let me give you wisdom, but you need to accomplish 3 impossible tasks. Now Zomo looked up at Sky God and said, impossible? Oh yeah, 3 impossible tasks. It's not as easy to get wisdom as you might imagine. Now, the first thing that you must do is that you must get scales from big fish. The second thing that you must do is that you must get milk from a wild cow. Some of you might call it a buffalo. And the third thing that you must do is that you must get the tooth of a leopard. Now I want you to imagine, how do you get the tooth from a leopard? Or by all means, how do you go milking a buffalo? Take a minute. It's a wonderful thought, isn't it? So Zomo proceeded to the lake, and while he was there, he was like, what can get a fish out of the water? And he did the one thing that all Africans do: play his drum. Faster, faster, down below the water, the fish heard the music and came out. Dancing to the tune, dancing to the rhythm, faster and faster until his scales fell off. Oops. Zomo collected them very fast, and because Big Fish was a little embarrassed, he went back into the water. Now, having completed the first task, Zomo went on to his next, went to the forest, climbed up a palm tree, spied, looked around and saw a wild cow. Then, typically of every African animal, started taunting the wild cow. Oya! You're not as strong as I thought you are. You're not as big as I thought you are. Wild cow looked around, very angry. Excuse me, nani ananichekelea? Who is that laughing at me? Zomo up in the tree was like, it is I. I'm laughing at you. You can do nothing about it. Wild cow got angrier and angrier and angrier. And you can guess what he did? Turned around, started running faster, hit that palm tree and oops, got his horns stuck. Zomo climbed down the palm tree, turned over his drum and milked the wild cow. Once the second task was done, Zomo proceeded to the third impossible task, which was getting the tooth of a... Do you think he will get the tooth of a leopard? How do you think he'll get the tooth of a leopard? Ataingoa tu? Sindio? No. Instead, he climbed up to the highest hill where he knew leopard liked to walk by. Put a few of the scales on the ground, added a little milk, and went and hid behind the rock. And soon enough, here comes leopard. Unfortunately, he slid, hit the rock, and his tooth popped out, and Zomo jumped, grabbed it, and took off, because I don't think you want to be anywhere near an angry leopard without a tooth. It will still eat you. Now, having completed his tasks, Zomo went up to Sky God and said, "And your higher, now please give me wisdom." And Sky God looked at the little rabbit and was like, you have accomplished the impossible, but umebakisha kidogo. There are three things in this world. There is courage, there is good sense, and there is caution. You have courage, you have good sense, but my God, you lack what? And let him go. And you can imagine who he met down there. And to this day, every time Zomo sees the three animals, which are they? Do you think he will stand around and look? Do you think he will stand waiting for leopard to bite him toothlessly? No, instead, he actually did gain wisdom. Thank you.
Wale waliopotea kwenye nchi ya wajenzi palitokea kiongozi aliyewabeba na kuwaona kama wale wasiofaa. Aliwaahidi na kuwatengea. Welcome to my story, the place where we walk you through a journey of fasihi being kioo cha jamii. You see the same mirror. When held in front of them, they look at it and they don't love what they see. But each time, they keep telling us that they will be our perfect example. And they want us to look up to them when they look down on us. That was the nature of them that called themselves kings, who wanted some pins and labels on them, called them kingpins. Katikati walipoteza mwelekeo. Mwenendo wao ukatoka nje ya yale yaliyokubalika katika jamii. Wajenzi, they downed their tools. Wakasema kamwe hatutotumika tena. Wakasusia, kugoma na kuandamana. Sako kwa bako, utauliza. Lakini la, they did not. Walijaribu kulisukuma gurudumu la maisha, lakini all they could see were worn out souls. Viatu zao zilikuwa zimeisha kutokana na kupiga lami, ama ukipenda walikuwa wametamak. Usiku na mchana walipewa ahadi. Leo shule, kesho elimu, kesho kutwa walikuwa wakikashifiwa kwa sababu waliuliza kuhusu shifu. Kama kawaida, yeyote yule atakaye kukumaliza ama kukuangamiza, kwanza ataangamiza elimu yako, afya yako, chakula chako. Vitu hivi tatu tayari vilikuwa vimeangamia kwenye nchi ya wajenzi. Washenzi wao waliitwa, washenzi wao walisema. Kidogo wakakumbuka wasemavyo wahenga. Kwa wakati mwingine huzuni wao ulibebwa na wahenga. Hata wahenga walikuwa wanashangaa sana. Aliye juu waliambiwa wamgoje chini, lakini waliitisha power saw, kwa sababu at the powerhouse nobody saw any changes. Yalikuwa yakiwapita. Gumzo tu, leo chai, kesho mikutano, kesho kutwa documents, meetings. Mwisho wa siku ukawa mwisho wa kosa. Wale waliopigania haki wakabaki wamepigiwa misalaba kwenye kaburi. Majina hayo wakayataja. Wajenzi wakachukua nyundo na kusema ya kwamba wamerudi kule kwa sababu they wanted to hammer their needs and their request in the ears of them that did not listen. Walikuwa hayasikii la muadhini wala la mtekamaji msikitini. Walijaribu kuswali na kusali, lakini wakaambiwa Wakristo, Waislamu wote walioamini, kilio lilikuwa lile, lakini leo hii hayakuwa yakisikizwa. They came in the name of him. Wakasema Elohim, lakini kila siku wananchi wajenzi wakalia Eloi Eloi, hapa hatutoboi. Haya ndiyo yalikuwa huzuni yao kila asubuhi. Wakiamka na kulala walikuwa wakifikiria, je, watoto watasoma vipi? Wahadhiri wakagoma na kusema, hatutoki, hatusongi, hatubanduki. Hapa ndipo. Hata kabla ya shilingi kulia chingli, wakasema hata sumuni hatuguzi hadi mfikishe mkataba wa makubaliano. Je, walikubaliana? Wajenzi hao wa nchi walisema. Waliketi kuangalia na kupekua. Walipofika mwisho, waliona huu ni upuzi, na jinsi bwana mambo yule aliyekuwa wa kikale aliuliza na akasema, listen but don't tell, because utakuwa umewamboo, yani mambo mbotela. Je, huu ni ungwana? Wao hawakulishika, hawakulitarajia wala ya kuyaangazia. Kila siku walikuwa wakipanda magari ving'ora kila wakati. Barabara wakaeka mwananchi wa kawaida kando, wakamuita kaa Wajiko. Wakati walikuja walimuita Wanjiko. Wakati mwingine wakasema kwamba yeye ni mama yupi wa mboga, ila kila siku nyama hakuuona kwenye sahani. Mboga aliyoibeba asubuhi kuipeleka sokoni ndio mboga aliyorudi jioni kuipika. Kwa sababu gani? Wananchi wa kila siku wa kawaida hakuwa na fulusi mfukoni kuyanunua yale mahitaji ya kila siku. Wote wanafika wakiulizana, kweli tutatoboa? Alipoulizwa, mama mmoja pale alisema, each day I keep passing here. I pick a newspaper and look at it, but the headline I'm waiting for, I've not seen it yet. Until that day, that face was the front page. Wakati umefika wa mabadiliko na sasa umegonga. Wajenzi wameamka na kuyachukua manyundo, misumari wanagonga kila mahali. Basi ni wimbi la mabadiliko linapiga hodi na kusema, hapa nimefika. Je, kwenye mlango naliona damu? Hapana. Basi nitakuja nikichukua mmoja wenyu, nikiwachukua nyinyi mliotia doa kwenye ndoa tuliyoichukua kama wananchi. Ile basi mliotukabidhi na kusema ya kwamba hii ndio kibali chetu, mlitupora na kurudisha mfukoni. Mlitupea kwa mkono wa kulia, kisha mkachukua na mkono wa kushoto. Mnafanya hesabu ya kuongeza na kutoa. Iite net effect, kwa sababu hata ile mnaita net salary, it's just gross. Najua mwisho wa siku walisimama na kusema, sisi ndio wajenzi wa mabadiliko, lakini iwapo hutachukua jukumu na kuchukua silaha yako ya kupigana hivi vita vya kiakili, vita vya kiubongo, basi tutasalia pale pale tulipo. Tutasalia pale tulipoanza. Tutasalia kwenye lango la kufinyiliwa, kukanyagiwa na kukandamizwa. Usikubali ukandamizaji unaopiga hodi kwako. Chukua kura, angazia mbele na akili iwe sambamba unapoenda pale kwenye kijisanduku. Basi ujue wakati wako wa kujenga nchi, wewe kama mjenzi, ni sasa. Usiwe mshenzi ukaja ukavunja ahadi tuliyoitia sisi. Wajenzi wa taifa. Taifa ni lenyu na taifa ni la ujenzi. Tamati.
This is an opportunity for anyone who would like to perform. Is welcome.
No tweragwo, no twĩragwo, na tũrĩtũraga twĩragwo. Ndiũĩ kana nĩ mũranjigua. Tene tene mũno nĩ kwarĩ na kahĩ ka mũrĩithi, na nĩ gathiaga ũrĩithi. O rũciinĩ gokĩra na ng'ondu cia baba wao, gagagĩthiĩ rũru. Karĩithi, nĩkĩĩ gũthire? Mbũri ĩmwe ĩha, niĩ ndiũĩ, we nĩũĩ? O rũciinĩ, karĩithi, ng'ombe ĩmwe ĩha, niĩ ndiũĩ, we nĩũĩ? Ona niĩ ndiũĩ, no harĩ na kĩngĩ baba. Kaĩ ũtonete? Tũrĩ na ngui njerũ ya ũrĩithi, no reke ndĩmwĩre. Nĩ mũraigua? Mũtiretĩkĩra, nĩ mũraigua? Nĩ mũraigua? Hiti ikamũrĩa, no inyuĩ mwacirehire gĩcegũ. Hiti ikamũrĩa, no inyuĩ mwacirehire gĩcegũ. Na mũgĩtwĩra ciarĩ mbũri cia ũrĩithi. Thengio.
Today, I'm going to tell you a story. Oh, for those who don't know me, I'm Vincent, librarian by choice, and much, much more by choice and profession. The title of my story is Wonky Donkey. Wonky Donkey. Well, the other day, I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. he had 3 legs. He was not normal like the other donkeys. So, he was a wonky donkey. I want you to repeat after me. Wonky donkey.
Wonky donkey.
He was a wonky donkey. Then, the same day, I passed the same donkey again. This time, he had 3 legs, 1 eye. Guess what? He was a winky, wonky donkey. Again, he was a winky, wonky donkey. Wow, a winky, wonky donkey on the road. The same donkey, I met it on the road again. Guess what this time? He still has the 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked listening to country music. Guess what? He is a honky-tonky. Sorry. He was a honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. He was a honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. Oh, a honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. On the same day in the afternoon, I met the donkey. He had 3 legs, 1 eye. Remember, he liked listening to country music. And he was quite tall and slim, somehow like me. So guess what? He was a lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. He was a lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. Wow. The same day, he came by. I met him again. Still has the same 3 legs, 1 eye, like listening to country music, and he was quite tall and slim. And this time, he was smelling really, really bad. So, he was a stinky dinky, lanky honky tonky, winky wonky donkey. He was a stinky dinky, lanky honky tonky, winky wonky donkey. When evening came, I met the same donkey again. Remember, he had 3 legs, 1 eye, and liked listening to country music. And he was quite tall and slim like me. And remember, he's still smelling really, really bad. And that morning, he got up early and he hadn't had any coffee. Like you have taken now. You're supposed to take it in the morning. I'm sorry. So, he was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. So, at the end of the day, how was our donkey? Remember, he had only 3 legs, 1 eye, he liked listening to country music, he was quite tall and slim, and he smelled really, really bad. And that morning, he got up early, and he hadn't had any coffee, and he was always getting up to mischief. So, for the whole day, or by the end of the day, he was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, tonk, winky, wonky, donkey. I repeat again. He was a hunky punky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky, donkey. Well, I hope you are not the donkey. You woke up with one leg, one eye. You know yourself which donkey you are. Thank you.